It doesn't matter whether you're a model, an actor, an entrepreneur, whatever. Everything follows the path of expectations in a sense that behaviors you do determine your outcome and your success. So if you want to be a model or an actor, you have to be a business person first. You can't just say, I look a certain way, or I believe I've got this role now, or therefore I can be a drama queen. So for me, the hardest shift I had was moving from acting into entrepreneurial side, where I was no longer perceived as a person who was an actor, and I was now perceived as a business person. It took 5 years basically to start being taken seriously. But all of it is part of the journey of life. As long as you follow a certain set of paradigms, which is always be objective, always be gracious, always be respectful, and work your butt off as hard as you can. I think those transitions can be easier, but they'll never be completely without pain. You look at anyone who's succeeded in anything in life, pain is what makes you stronger. Pain is what makes you more successful. Because anyone who lives in a space of pleasure, comfort, never grows. I think the first thing that we have to have in all aspects of our life, no matter what we do, is there's never a sense of entitlement. Rejection, it permeates every aspect of our life from the time we're little. Whether we go to kindergarten the first day, we want to be friends with someone and they ignore us and they laugh at us, we're rejected. Moving that through our teenage years into our first career journey, there's always going to be rejection. That said, in acting and modeling, the rejection is greater, I think, than most others because you're being objectified. It's got nothing to do with your internal block, your internal characteristics. Although you could argue, there are some people that have that it factor. That's an internal thing. That's not an external thing. That's endogenous, not exogenous. You'll find generally it's the person who has more substance. They went through a harder childhood. They went through a harder obstacle or whatever it was that builds character. When it comes to acting, it's a different kettle of fish because it's not just how you look. I've had auditions in the past where it'd say the character breakdown. You really go, it's me. Looks like me, sounds like me. So you think all you need to do now is get the dialogue right. And then you'll see who they cast, and they cast someone who looks nothing like you. And you'll think, what happened? I don't understand it. It's me. It must be me. There's something wrong with me. But it's not. The more you do it, the more you start to understand is that the people in positions of power, I would say 8 times out of 10 have no idea what they want until it walks in the room. They just don't know because you're dealing with too many X factors of you don't know where styles and trends are going. You don't know what the audience wants. So generally you're just kind of like, throwing stuff at the walls to see what sticks. You'll see so many artists who will get released and then they don't get a fan base. And then every now and then you'll get a few that break out. And generally they're the ones that don't conform to the ideology of this is what you're meant to be when you stepped into that role. And they make it their own. Like my soap career, I did like 1,100 episodes or so. When I first started that, the character was a blank slate. And you had writers writing a character that they thought was going to be this character over here. I read that character and I interpret to be a character that's going to be over here. I can't go in the room and say, hey guys, I've got an idea. It should be like this. Like I could never write a soap opera. I can never produce that amount of content. But what I can do is take the content I'm given and interpret it in a way that I believe will make that content and myself mesh in a way that I believe it can be delivered to an audience that will make them have a more entertaining experience. It's like being a bull in a china shop, but not breaking the china, but letting them know that there is something different about you that makes you interesting to see, oh my God, he's going to break the china all of a sudden. No, he didn't, because you're a professional. And I think if you tally all these things up, you end up forging your own career. And once you do that, then it's another fine line between not letting it go to your head and thinking you now have the power, because you never have the power. So you have to at all times be grateful for what you have. You can never outshine the master. You can never bite the hand that feeds you. It's a dance. You'll never be leading the dance as an entertainer. As an entrepreneur, you have the capacity to lead the dance.